a high drive to right. It is out of here.
Welcome, everybody, to the glorious episode of the Put on Giants podcast. I am your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California, PORSBR, my Twitter handle. So check me out there. Also, Put on Waivers_podcast. You can check me out on Instagram there for all your USC stuff, your Raiders stuff, and your San Francisco Giants. To Put on Giants podcast is a weekly look at the San Francisco Giants. How's everybody doing out there today? I guess the Bay Area is just having a tough time with the with the state of Minnesota right now. You got the Timberwolves beating the Warriors. They're up 2-1, and then you also have the Giants getting swept by the Twins out there in the Twin Cities, and it just really it's a frustrating series for the Giants, especially when you consider that they are coming off of what was a great series against the Cubs. They were able to go ahead and go into Wrigley Field, a really tough place to play, and they were able to win 2 out of 3 there. They won 14-5, and then they won 3-1. The Giants lose those games in Minnesota, and I think the series was lost in the first 2 games of the series. Friday night game, the Saturday night game, you lose 3-1, you lose 2-1, and you just can't have it. I mean, you got to at least get a split of those 2 games. It's hard to look at the first 2 games of this series. You give them 5 runs, and you can't win either of those games. The Twins are a 500 team. They're not any kind of juggernaut, if you will. I mean, I don't think anybody would ever call them any kind of juggernaut baseball team. But you got to find a way to win a game in that series, and especially coming off the Cub one. It happened. I am not ready to jump off the ledge like everybody else was. Everybody else is with the Giants. This is only this is the 3rd series they've lost all year. I'm looking at the schedule right now. I don't think they've lost. They have not lost. They lost the Red Series at home. They lost the Red Series. They lost the Angel Series, and they lost the Padres series, and then they lost this series. So they haven't lost a lot of series yet, but you don't want it to be a trend. This does, start kind of a troubling month for the Giants here, because you do have a situation here where you come home now, but you come home to the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are a good team. They're only a couple games over 500. They split last week's the last series with the Dodgers on the 4-game series they had in Arizona. So they are a capable team. They have a lot of speed in the outfield. They have some good pitching. They're almost it's coming that they're going to make a run at some point. So it's really important for the Giants to come back home, relax, and we have the win. That first night is going to be UC Davis night at the at Oracle, and then this game 2 of the series is going to be Korean Heritage Night, and then the getaway game is going to be 12:45 Pacific time. So what's wrong with the Giants? So basically, I know everybody wants to go ahead and want Posey to make all these moves and do all the things like that. I think the question we have to ask for the Giant fans is: you have Birdsong, you have Harrison, and you have Whisenhunt in the minors. There was rumors about the Giants really trying to talk the White Sox into giving up Roberts. And would you make that deal? Because I know people want to see the young pitchers start. They want to see Birdsong start. They want to see Kyle Harrison start. But at the end of the day, the times where they kind of struggle is on offense. And maybe it is a matter of time before we get 2 or 3 guys on the same page here. It seems like we got when Adames is hot, nobody's hitting. It seems like when Chapman gets hot, nobody's hitting. And now, if you look at Helio Ramos, over the last 10 games, he's 16 for 31, batting 516, three doubles, four home runs, 12 RBIs, and six walks and a hit by pitch. So I think there's one thing that you got to look at too is like whenever these guys get hot, it's amazing how the walks become part of it. Being patient at the plate, having that approach. And when Adames was hot, that's what happened. Same thing with Chapman. So you got to get those guys going. Got to get those guys being relaxed at the plate and getting some walks. Once they get walks going, then the bats get going and everything like that kind of comes together. So I'm not ready to like push the panic button just yet, but they do play some teams here where you might have to have a little bit of a. So this is you might have to worry just a little bit. So they got three with the Diamondbacks. The A's are going to be a pain in the neck. So you know about the A's, and then the Royals, who are having a pretty good season, is are coming to town for this 9 game homestand. So that's something you got to think about too. Is like some pain in the ass teams, like they go at the Nationals. The Nationals are a pain in the ass team this month. The Tigers are a pretty good team, and then we all know about the Marlins. The Marlins, for some reason, always give the Giants a pain. Always are a pain in the neck for the Giants here to end out the month of May. So you have to watch that as well. But back to this week, game one. Like they just have to they just have to. It'd be nice to just win game one and just stop the losing streak, because once you get in a major league season, things can fester really quickly. Like you can be a 3 game streak and turn into a 7 game streak, either wins or losses very quickly, and a lot of it can be hinged on one play. So for the Giants, they need to do whatever they can to kind of take the momentum of this series with the Diamondbacks and just grab game one, get it over with, like end that series right now, and they'll be and then put themselves in good shape as far as that goes. Ryan Walker, what do you do with Ryan Walker? I mean, Ryan Walker is. I understand that it's difficult to have somebody get a hit when they're batting 067 against you. I mean, that's not really good. That's not really good at all. And it's bad baseball in every sense. You got to execute your pitches much better than that. I'm not sure if I trust pretty much anybody in this bullpen right now. So I think that's a big thing too as well. So I think besides Tyler Rogers, you know, do you make Harrison or Birdsong just a long relief guy that gets you all the way to the ninth inning? Almost like almost having like double starters in a situation. I think somebody on Twitter put Roop and the other pitcher, I forgot his name, whose name's escaping me right now. Roop and the other guy, the other starter. It's fucking fun. I can't. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks to the bullpen, and then start Birdsong, and start Birdsong and start Harrison. And then I think you put yourself in a position where you might those guys start, and then you put yourself in a position where like the reliever in that situation probably will end up being Hicks and being Rope, and then you end up kind of just switching out that same situation for each other. So it is what it is. So I'm not sure. I'm not. I think they want that lively arm, in the back of the bullpen. There are some valuable innings for Birdsong here. I mean, and Harrison as he comes back here. So I mean, I definitely see that. I do understand fans' frustration with it. But I know that like people are like saying, Buster, do something, Buster, do something. I think that you gotta like I get it, I understand it, but to a certain extent, you gotta let part of it ride out because they are winning games and they are 7 games over. Us as fans have to be with baseball, you got to kind of take a longer approach than you do other sports. But the one thing that people want to see is, some production from second base, some production from first base and catcher. And I think that's something that's really a tough thing right now for the Giants to watch this many quality at bats with this many big high leverage moments in these games, and you're not getting anything from your catcher. You're not getting anything from Lamont Wade Jr. You're not getting anything from whoever they put at first, whoever they put at second base right now. I really miss, Tyler Fitzgerald. Hope he comes back soon. And Tyler Fitzgerald and Casey Schmidt, at least they both have pop in their bat. And Fitzgerald gives you a speed element that the Giants are missing here. Koss and Wisely are just like they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything to help the Giants at all. And they come up in high leverage situations, and it's just looking at them just not being able to do anything for the Giants, and it's really hard to watch. It's difficult to watch. Sam Huck is another one. Not really. It's not really giving the Giants much as give the Giants at all anything as well offensively, and they seem to come up in situations where the other day, Lamont Wade Jr. just needed we just needed a fly ball. We needed a fly ball to the outfield, and he couldn't deliver it. Pull the ball to the right side, couldn't deliver it. Like, you got to be able to get those runners over, and that has to be a part of your approach. And that's where he's really, really struggling. Lamont Wade has just been it's been tough to watch and tough to watch. Good guy, good kid, but I mean, at the end of the day, we can't be sitting here with David Villar, at at first base. Listen, I mean, when is Encarnacion coming back? I mean, that's the thing. We're hoping that he comes back soon. I know people said end of the month, but well, it can't come fast enough. Every time he gets a hit in the minors, you just say, "Okay, you sure you can't bring him up right now?" Because right now he's desperately needed, desperately needed. And I don't know if he is really even a first baseman. He's more of a DH. So they could be, when everybody's healthy on this team, there could be a situation where everybody's just DHing. They, they have a bunch of DHs on their team, I should say, and nowhere to put them in the field. That's something where it's going to be really tough to see the Giants prevail, get a good spot there, because they need to get some production on these spots, and they got to get some of these guys hotter. They have to be able to get three or four guys going at the same time. Like, I mean, it's just, I mean, at least giving you quality at bats. You can't be striking. I mean, I didn't, listen, you look at Adames over his career, he does have a high strikeout tendency. But when he does take pitches, and when he does have quality at bats, it's him being patient at the plate, and then somebody having to commit to a predictable breaking ball or a predictable fastball count, where he can go drive the ball to the opposite field, drive the ball to and drive the ball down the field. I mean, in the gaps, if you will, for the Giants. So he was a big money free agent. He was the only really the only one. So that's something that's big that has happened for the Giants. You look at going to the series with Diamondbacks. You miss Corbin Burns, so that's good. Corbin Burns did play with the Giants a little bit. Did not become a Giant, if you will. We thought for sure that he might become a Giant, but he did not become a Giant. Let me see who's pitching in the rest of the series. So you got Kelly versus Verlander. If I'm not mistaken, Kelly does have some good starts against the Giants. Then you also have Bott versus Ray. Ray is 5-0 right now, and Ray has had some really good outings this year. The Giants seem to give him some good pitching performances. I mean, some good run support there. And then you have Rodriguez versus Hicks, and Hicks that ERA got down a little bit with his last start. He has great stuff. We just gotta see him. He gotta see him put the whole thing together for the Giants to be successful as far as that goes. One note, I did see Blake Snell is still on the DL and still hurt and still not pitching for the Dodgers. And I know Giants, sometimes Giants fans are like, yeah, see, I told you, whatever, and all that stuff like that. But I will say this though, I think that's the thing with baseball that's really tough. And I think we have to look at the future of baseball and like, the player association does not want to have a salary cap. We know how really tough the player association is in Major League Baseball. But that moment there is what other teams could not absorb that the Dodgers can absorb. Like the Dodgers can absorb like let's just say Snell's out for the whole entire year with all the money they invested in him. That's fine for them. They can live with that. They're all good with that because they can actually afford it. If the Giants are acting cheap right now, but the Giants can actually afford something like that. The Yankees, teams like that, but other teams could the Royals, you know, if Witt went out for the whole year, would they're having a good season so far? Would they be able to just go ahead and make a move? No, they're not be able to make they won't be able to make that move. They won't be able to make a move to say, hey, let's just make a move here to still make a run, get a good player, and take it from there. They couldn't do that, and I think those are things that like, will they change? Will that change in Major League Baseball? I don't know. Will they do that? I have no idea, but we'll see. We'll see what happens as far as that goes. As far as the right now, we are filming this right before on Monday, Monday the 12th. And then the Giants right now currently are 24-17, 3 games behind the Dodgers, 2 games behind the Padres, 17 with 17 losses. The Dodgers and Padres have the same amount of losses, 14. So that remains there. The Giants are, let's see here, the only 2 teams. Let's see, the Phillies have 16 losses, 15 losses. I go over losses more than wins because you can make up wins, you can't make up losses. So that's where the Giants stand right now. They are, they're going to be, they want to remain in the hunt. They want to remain in the hunt. And listen, the Dodgers play this week. They play the Athletics, so you expect them to have a good series against the Athletics, and then the Padres, who are just coming from Colorado, play the Angels. So you expect them to have a good series against the Angels as well. So we'll see what happens here on the Put on Giants podcast. We'll continue on every week, and I will try to get on after some of these games with the Diamondbacks because they're big games for the Giants here. They're big games for the Giants, and the Giants have not gone off to a good start against teams in the division. The division has kind of been a worrisome part for them. They beat the Rockies, but 3 out of 4, but they're the Rockies. Lost 2 straight to the Padres, and this is the first time they're facing the Diamondbacks this year. So we'll see what happens there. All right, go Giants. See you next time. Peace.
Lee hits a high drive to right.